years, well, really about a year and a half ago, I was given a modified code to go along with the alphabet, you know, A through Z. For example, A stands for awareness, B stands for delusion, C stands for consciousness, D for dispersal, E for existence. And you can tie them into almost any word or lots of situations and see where those energies are present or hidden. Just had a notion a few minutes ago to update and see what changes have happened to these letters, these codes, especially what I've been working on behind the scenes or not so behind the scenes this year, or just what this planet's going through since it's under a 5 energy. And you always hear me say 5 is about movement. So just going to throw a card for each letter in the alphabet and see what happens. I have no idea where this is going. Just had a guidance, a notion within myself to do it. So again, I'm sticking with my double deck theory. Shut up. I almost said something, but keep it clean. So A stands for awareness. A, the alpha, you better have awareness in all things you do. So where is the energy of awareness tied in with my cards? Motivation, 28, I get it. What I see is about to be what I'm struggling with. 2, what I see. 8, my struggle. What I see becomes my struggle. If I'm not aware of what I'm struggling with, I'm fucked. So if you're going to make any movement, make a movement with awareness, and let's make sure that that awareness is a source of motivation. The titty card. I move for the titty. So moving on to B. B is delusion. Delusion is exactly what it is. It means, holy shit, you giving your energy to some shit that has no chance of becoming reality. Oops. Knowledge does what? Knowledge gets you fucked up. But 1 is also, being honest with you, 1, if I do the numbers, 1 is also awareness. But in the sense of the magician, this card, when I made these cards, 1 used to be knowledge in my old number system. So this knowledge, and you hear me say knowledge gets you fucked up, because knowledge is what? Based off of ideas of what other people may have experienced, or the assumption of what you went through. Not always real. Holy shit, I was Batman last night. Now I know I'm Batman. This motherfucker crazy. See? Delusion. So the delusion can become all that you know, and it's the only thing that's fucking manipulating you, because it's where you always get your magic from, or where you've always given your magic to. So I get that one. And if you pay attention, 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Already at AB, we got 2 1s or an 11. Already we stepping into illusion. So going into C, consciousness, already you wake up, sleep. You woke up and you still sleep. Your consciousness. Holy shit, you woke up and you still sleep. You still at war with your own separation. What do you mean by separation? What I thought I saw and what I actually am. That's the point of separation. That is your foundation. 6 is your foundation. Your consciousness is steeped in the foundation of separation. Basically the illusion of duality. Masculine, feminine, blah, 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 blah. Male, female, whatever, whatever. It's still based in duality and in polarity, and polarity requires energy. If you want to polarize something, you're taking power. You've already lost your power, and you're only just now at C. So moving on to D. D is dispersal. What I just tell you, it takes your power. To polarize something means to move the energy and get into a state of excitement. That means there's going to be a force of dispersal or containment. But in this sense, we're going to say dispersal. That means I'm spreading me all around. I'm dispersing myself into these thoughts. What's D? Holy shit, I'm dispersing myself into these thoughts. 3 is thoughts. Thoughts that have been dispersed as a virus become experiences. Now I'm bound. Now I'm a genie. I'm only making gains by dispersing myself. You see the stupidity in that? I've only made gains. I've only become more by becoming less. And the sad thing about that is that's the fucking truth. The less that you invest your energy in the experiences of this realm, the more you get back of yourself. But the ideology of get out here and throw your energy and everything, people think that's the path of ascension. It is a path of ascension, but what are you ascending to? Let's see. D led you to E, existence. You're only giving your experience. D, dispersing yourself into what you're going to call existence. What I go through is my existence. So here's E. Holy shit. What I go through is my existence. The star card. What shows me all these experiences based off of what? Separation. I'm now in the illusion of separation, starring in my own wholeness within the separation. But you motherfuckers think you know. Delusion. So, going into F, forcing my thoughts into existence. Why? Because I've seen these experiences that I can become, and I now want to star in them. So since I've seen the things that I want to become and I can star in them, I'm going to make them happen. Holy shit, manifestation. Manifestation is actually manipulation. It just depends on how you're applying the energy. Neither one of them can be alignment. They can be and they can't be. But in this case, we're going to say F, forcing my thoughts into existence, is going to be manipulation through manifestation. Holy shit. 5, movement. 14, the temperance card, the patience card. I'm about to let this shit flow. Holy shit. Ching, ching, ching comes the money tree. Holy shit, I'm about to manifest some shit. I'm about to make it all come forth. I'm forcing things to be what I want them to be because my magic was the whole fucking delusion. Oops. Okay, so from F you go to G. G, the divinity of self. You are the individual God. The divinity within myself is the only way that I'll probably realize that the rest of this shit was an illusion. You hear me say God a lot. Generator, operator, destroyer. Not Sky Daddy and I'm a grand rapist and I murder everybody. Not all that shit. G-O-D, God. You're generating, you're operating, and you're destroying yourself through experiences that you're trying to find a way to flow with. So G, the divinity of myself, I'm only enslaved to these experiences. I'm only enslaved to this 27 where I see myself as myself. Where I see 2, 7, the best perspective of myself. Where I see the best perspective of myself, that's where I'm going to try and rule over. Holy shit, that's where I'm going to try and become God of my experience. Oops, so G got you out here enslaved to what? The experiences that already got your power through polarity. H is a holographic or an illusion or destructive awareness. In this sense, it's basically the illusion that does not have to have your energy. It's holy shit, I see that that's an illusion, but I'm not going to touch it. So this H is really a gift. This is holy shit, I can see it. It's the illusion of separation, and I can see where if I step into it, I'm going to be the one tying it together. If you draw a H, 2 ones with a line in between them, the only thing connecting this separation is you. So don't become the illusion. Don't become the holographic destructive awareness. Stay out of your head. God. Holy shit, I just told you. You're going to become the God of your experiences. Once you become the God of your experiences, you are now the holographic awareness that think it's God. 3, 4, the thoughts that have now trapped me become what has enslaved me. Oops. So then you go into I, intelligence. I digress. Intelligence. Manifestation. Holy shit. The things that I know. Knowledge does what? Get you fucked up. But my intelligence is the source of movement. I have intelligently encountered these experiences and now I know them through awareness. It's triple layered trap. This is the master manipulator. Anything that requires your movement already guarantees that you're going to lose your energy in the attempt of gaining it back. So you get out here and you masterfully manipulate yourself by giving your energy to the experiences that you want to find yourself in. I gave my energy to the experiences so I can find me. Why didn't I just find me before I became the experience? I don't know. So you done fucked yourself up and you're now the master manipulator, which takes you to J, justification for fucking yourself over. Holy shit, it's the 7. It's the 7. I want to create time for these experiences so that I gain knowledge through awareness. It's the journey. I create time. I create this matrix. I entangle myself into experiences, trying to create experiences that will show me more experiences so that I don't need experience because I have the experience. Justification. 7, where I thought I saw myself. So from J, you go to K, the perspective, the 7. The perspective, the idea of unconditional love, K actually is the number 7. So when you were at J, you already thought you were a K. You one step behind though. So here's K, which should have been the number 7, the idea of unconditional love, the perspective of yourself. Here's what K amounts to. It's just your thoughts. Oops. It's just your thoughts. All you're seeing is the reflection of yourself in separation, aka all you're seeing what came from source and not source. All you're seeing is the light reflection, but not the light. So you are your thoughts, but you think it's you. And as long as you see what you think you see, you're going to keep on going. As long as you got your 7. So from K, you go to L. You've already lowered yourself into division. You've already lowered yourself from source into becoming the God of this experience, which went nothing but thoughts. So L is, I've already lowered my energy. I'm no longer source. I might have a chance at being God. Holy shit. But I still love it. I'm still 7 again. I'm 7 again. I'm 7 again. I'm caught in between the illusion of separation and the reality of it all. And when I get here and I lowered myself, as long as I see the things that I want to see, I'm going to keep on going. But now I'm really back at B. I'm in the delusion trying to perform as the wholeness within the illusion. You ain't even got to the damn reality. You still trying to get out of the illusion. So then you get to M. Holy shit. Emotion. Mental energy. You hear me say this all the time. This ain't nothing but me. M-E. Mental energy. This is the mind producing thoughts, and you're justifying and empowering the thoughts through the idea of experience. So when you get to M, you really are emotion, energy and motion, but only in the mental capacity. Holy shit. You out here embracing the fears of your mind because you can't hold yourself together until you go through the experience of your thoughts. That 3, my thoughts, will show me how to move to find myself, when really all I had to do was hold myself together. But because I don't trust holding myself together, I'm going to get out here and try and find everything else that will hold me together, or I want to have identification of the things that can clearly pull me apart so I can put them where they need to be and stay safe where I'm at. Holy shit, that's almost a hermit card function. So when you get to M, you almost in hermit mode because you out here looking at what you're scared of and trying to find a safe way to hold yourself together, but it's all your mind. From M, you go to N, my foundation point. And this is one of the most powerful points there is. My foundation point within the illusion is unfucking limited because it has endless probabilities and endless possibilities because they're all thoughts. One thought creates 2 thoughts, which create 498.5 million thoughts. You understand? One thought has infinity laced within it before it even creates another one. Now there's 2 infinities with infinite infinities in between. And we just got to the second thought. So when you get to N, you are trapped within everything that you can possibly think of and shit that you ain't even think that you can think of. Holy shit. Now you're trying to overcome them all. That 3, them thoughts, is going to fool you because you've been taught that them thoughts will show you 0 source. You thought them thoughts will show you everything when them thoughts will show you everything by you becoming it all. So you have to sacrifice yourself in order to come over to these thoughts with the hopes of finding yourself. So in N, you become all these possibilities and probabilities. And from N, you go to O. You already outside of. Outside of what? Everything. You are already outside of reality and tucked securely within illusion. So O is holy shit. Your foundation is the war of separation, but you separated within the separation of yourself. What do you mean? What I say earlier, you ain't even got to the reality. You still trying to figure out how to get out of the illusion, aka delusion. So from O, you out here at war with your own foundation because you can't find yourself. Then you get into P, justification of the delusional possibilities. Justifying all the delusional possibilities that I now came over to, even when they showing me war. But they gotta show me war because that's the only way I can get to peace is by conquering. So here you go justifying all this bullshit. Holy shit, you your own fucking devil. You out here harming yourself by giving your ME, giving me my mental energy into everything that already told me I only mean to pull you apart as a means of holding yourself together. What's the definition of insanity? I digress. So from right there at that P, you're pissed on yourself, you going in the Q, questioning everything I'm doing, everything I'm seeking. What should you be seeking? Yourself. But now in this reading right here, you're only trying to find yourself through these experiences. You shouldn't be questioning shit. You shouldn't be seeking shit. You should just be allowing things to be what they are. Or you'll end up Linda, justifying the illusion of separation by doing things wrong. Why am I doing them wrong? Because I've already seen myself in harm and at a war, and I already told myself the only way out of this war is to keep coming over to it and learning how to conquer it. Oops. So from right there, I've already questioned everything that I'm doing wrong, which means I'm going to second guess myself. Once I second guess myself, then I need to put me back together. Maxine Waters, I'm going to reclaim my time. You become R, reclamation. Holy shit, I gave my energy to all these experiences. Now let me pull myself back out. Remember the analogy of the glass with the blue water, the blue dye? You could have been the source, but once you separate yourself into experiences and took the blue dye of experience, when you put yourself back in the source, you're no longer source. You're source with experience of that blue dye. You're no longer the same. You've now been altered. You've now been transmuted and transformed. Holy shit. You're going to reclaim you, but you actually got a virus. Holy shit. Your ignorance. That's the only thing you're going to reclaim. You're going to reclaim everything that you moved your energy into, the fool card, everything you tricked yourself into when you put yourself back together. Them motherfuckers still in you. That's what we call trauma points. That's what you'll hear me call 88, the gatekeepers. Just because you worked them out in here, just like a computer, you can wipe that hard drive, but that shit's still buried in there if you know how to get into that fucking partition. So within this human partition of ME, my mental energy, is a replica of everything that I did in ignorance. Everything I did wrong to harm myself and put myself in war, I kept coming over to because I was too scared to stop growing, but I kept communicating with what I thought was going to make me grow, and I manifested it because it was the only thing to fill my mind because I was enslaved to the idea of movement, but it showed me separation through experience, but that war was really with knowledge because the motivation was something outside of me instead of my stillness. Oops, moving on to S, perspective of self. Perspective of self. We ain't even learning to love ourselves yet. This is just a perspective of myself in what I'm going through. This is a reset. S, perspective of self, says, holy shit, I may not love myself enough yet, but at least let me start taking responsibility. Holy shit, let me start taking responsibility to covet my energy and not the experiences of what I think I'm going through. Fuck what I'm going through. Why am I going through? See, you challenge yourself. You take responsibility for all your emotions. So from there, you go to T, travel. Only this is what you hear me call chasing the wave. You heard me over the few days say 55 is the wave itself that has all these unlimited experiences in it. This T is you chasing these experiences because I'm trying to find myself in them, even though there's no movement. Why? Because the experiences aren't real. They're just your thoughts. Thoughts don't move. They just move you. So T is the mind, the thoughts that are moving me, but I ain't even left the damn seat. Holy shit. It's the thoughts, 5, right here. The experiences that mean to move me. That's the T stood for travel. No real moving, but you're just chasing the wave. What's the wave? The wave is experience. Why? So I can learn. I want to learn, so therefore I can teach myself to be still. Holy shit, sound like ascension. I'm sorry. So from T, you go to U, the unlimited potential of thought. In this case, it really should be a 3. This is your thoughts. It's probably going to be another Oshun card. It's going to probably be some component of 3, 0, or 7 because there's tricksters in there. U, unlimited potential of thought, means it can show you anything you want to see. Holy shit, infinity. The unlimited potential of thought is infinity, which is a 0, a 8, a 33. All of those make up the number 8. If you creatively work through the number 8, you can get a 0, some 3s, a 8, all of it. It's the strength card. I'm going to achieve what I want to learn because now I got the recipe of coveting my energy. And that will keep me from being controlled by everything they already told me is going to control me. I just didn't trust that it told me it was going to control me. I didn't trust its truth, so I needed to lie to myself. Holy shit, alchemy. So from there you go into V, the vastness of that thought in motion. Remember that thought ain't really moving, but it's got you moving. So now you're thinking. And as a thinker, there's nothing that I cannot do. So you caught in the V, the vastness of those thoughts, which mean now you're just trying to rule over them before they enslave you. It's another fucking 9, 27. I see myself 2, and I know who I am. 7, self-awareness. I see myself and I know who I am, and I'm going to maintain dominion. But remember that glass of water with that blue experience in it? You're no longer who you are. So from V, you go into W, the wave of experience itself. This essentially is the 55. It's just contained in this alphabet. W is the wave of experience itself, witnessing and indulging in you. It's witnessing you. This is the thoughts watching you saying, shit, if I come into his mind enough, that motherfucker gonna do it. So this is in some sense mental stimulation or mental domination, mind control. This 55 is a mind control. Apathy. Don't connect with your foundation. Connect with what I want you to. Remember, I keep telling you, mermaids can't swim outside the water for so long before they lose their source. But that's okay. You can swim outside these waters because I'll give you life. I'll give you life and light and love. I am the way, the truth, says the thoughts. The experience becomes your fucking Jesus because they're going to save you. The only way I'm going to get out of this is by going through these experiences. You've already lost yourself. You now become trapped in there, which means X is the experience itself. This is the perception of experience because you ain't really doing nothing except for following your thoughts. And again, thoughts don't move. You do. So X is the experience of what you think you're going through. Holy shit. The experience of what you think you're going through is going to show you a false 7 because the only thing it's going to show you is what you want to know. That 2 and that 5 is going to show you what you thought you wanted to learn, which will become the identification of what you think you are. Trickery. Holy shit. You the water with the blue dye. So from right there, then you go into Y. You the water with the blue dye, but that's all I know. And knowledge does what? Get you fucked up. So Y is knowledge. Holy shit, get you fucked up. Because that becomes the only thing that I can try and go through is what I know. See, that's all I know and that's all I'm going to do, says the human. So knowledge becomes your struggle and knowledge becomes infinity, and it becomes experience. But it also is the fool. So that will show you Z, which is sleep and unconsciousness, because you never moved and you never woke up enough to see that this was you in separation and not you in wholeness. Us in separation and not us in wholeness. This was just the idea of what it would be like to follow the motivation of going into a struggle with ourselves instead of remaining in stillness and wholeness. So Z is you've been knocked the motherfucking fuck out and you still unconscious. You still unconscious. Get up, wizard, get up. Nope, I can't. I'm under manipulation. Who's manipulating you? My thoughts. But you're the thinker, but I can't stop thinking. And it's hard. But if you don't start taking responsibility as a thinker and stop being as responsive to the thoughts, good luck, Chuck. You fucked.